Hi, my name is Marc Belaiche. I'm president of TorontoJobs.ca. In this short video, I share with you some thoughts as to what's happening in the jobs market as of today, Monday, September 28th. First of all, there's a few golden rules when it comes to working from home. So number one is don't be late. If there's meetings that are happening at your work and you're working remotely, don't be late. Clean up your workstation. Make sure that people can only see what you want them to see, and also use a virtual background if you're using Zoom. Number three is keep distractions to a minimum. If there's family members, pets, and so on, make sure that they're not distracting you when you're working from home. Don't bow to children and pets. I know it can be hard to bow to them and make sure that they're looked after while you're working remotely, but in all fairness to your employer, you should be focused on your work. And then finally, dress professionally, especially when it comes to meetings. Here are some of the best and worst cities to work remotely from. This is a survey that was done, which talked about the number of benefits there are working from home from different cities. So the best cities for remote workers around the world, number one is Bucharest, Romania. Number two is Houston, Texas. And number three of all places, Las Vegas, Nevada. And the worst, Rome, Italy is number one. Number two is Milan, Italy. And number three is Seoul, South Korea. If you'd like to see the whole list, feel free to reach out to me and I can send it off to you as well. Office romances. Have you ever been involved with office romances? Well, here is a story about what an employer's legal obligations are to be. As a general rule, an employer has no interest in the romantic relationships of employees. This includes romantic relationships between employees in the office. Therefore, an employer cannot generally prohibit office romances or otherwise direct employees in relation to their personal or romantic relationships. However, when it comes to romantic relationships, if it impacts work, then that is a different story. The study also found that 58% of employees have engaged in an office romance, with 19% of employees admitting to having had an affair with a colleague behind their partner's back. So how should companies manage capacity, contact tracing, and health and safety in a meaningful way in the world of COVID-19? Well, all Canadian employers are mandated by law to ensure the health and safety of their personnel, and more so now in the midst of the pandemic. Despite enforcing strict rules to curb transmission at work, 50% of business leaders who have been surveyed said they cannot guarantee employees that it is safe to return to work. So when to stop working from home? Well, how about never? It's not the idea of not returning back to the office, but a survey by Wells Fargo and Gallup found that 42% of over 1,000 workers surveyed had a positive view of working remotely versus 14% who viewed it negatively. In the survey, working from home was viewed much more positively by women than men, 48% to men who was only 34%. After COVID, people are somewhat back to work. It's hard to know. Despite the challenges of telecommuting, 61% of C-level executives say their business continuity plans have enabled them to stay on top of their game, even while operating remotely. Ontario workplaces are also now required to actively screen employees. The government of Ontario has made a few announcements over the last few days. The bottom line is, effective September 26, 2020, which was this past Saturday, each Ontario workplace is now required to proactively screen employees for COVID-19 related symptoms and risk prior to entry into the work environment. And this happens each day. So each day the employee is supposed to work in an office and enter the work environment, the employer is supposed to screen them. So this relates specifically to, at minimum, the questions identified by the Ministry of Health COVID screening tool for workplaces for both businesses and organizations. Hot jobs that we are actively recruiting for at TorontoJobs.ca. We have a CPA firm in North York looking for a senior manager or principal for their firm. We have a legal assistant position for a sole practitioner, part-time, working remotely. Needed is healthcare law or health law experience. And finally, an accounting technician with some investment accounting experience is needed for a role in Mississauga. If you're interested in these roles or any other roles, visit email resumes at TorontoJobs.ca or visit TorontoJobs.ca. Hover over the recruitment division tab at the top and select recruitment openings. And from there, you can apply directly online to those positions. Some of the HR issues that are being of concern right now for employers, these are just examples, but is it too dangerous to bring staff back to the office? Can a company fire an employee for refusing to wear a mask at work? Can a company fire an employee for not returning to work when asked? Can a company force an employee to take a vaccine? So all these issues are really key right now in the world of employment, especially in Ontario. If you are at an organization where these situations are taking place, you may want to consult an employment lawyer to figure those things out. TorontoJobs.ca presents a number of virtual events coming up. These ones may be of interest to you. We have the Virtual Tech Career Conference happening this afternoon, Monday, September 28th, starting at 1 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time. There's also the Canadian Virtual Sales Conference that happens this Wednesday, September 30th. And we also have the Canadian Virtual CPA Conference that happens on October 8th. These are just sample of many of the events that we have planned. For more information and to register, visit TorontoJobs.ca/news. Some of the top candidates that TorontoJobs.ca recruiting division is also representing right now includes a sales professional with 10 years of experience located in Mississauga. Also, there's an administrative professional with 5 years of experience in Toronto and a human resources coordinator who is available in Mississauga. If any of these candidates interest you or your organization is looking to hire, feel free to email sales@TorontoJobs.ca. 3 things that you may want to do this week if you are a job seeker. Watch my session on video interviews. You can find the video by going to our YouTube channel for TorontoJobs.ca. Join at least 5 relevant LinkedIn groups for your job search that make sense to you. And think about whether you should open up your own business, perhaps part-time. Visit TorontoEntrepreneurs.ca, which is our sister division, for more information. So in conclusion, make this week your best week ever. Feel free to connect with me on LinkedIn if there's anything I can help you out with. And if you'd like to check out our social media, you can follow us by visiting Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, and Instagram. If there's anything I can help you with, by all means, don't hesitate to reach out, and don't forget to post your resume and search and apply to positions directly on our website at TorontoJobs.ca. Thanks for watching. Have a great day and stay safe.